Hello, park people. Hi, it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I have my Thunderhorse Descendant mug. I know this isn't morning coffee time, but you know. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that I recently did a video featuring a bracelet and a pair of cage bead earrings to match the 1930s inspired drape necklace that I did last week. And in that video, I mentioned that I had a like dangly earring idea, but I didn't want the video to be so long. So I thought I would just pop over here and make a separate video so that that can be a separate project all of its own. So that's what we're doing. Thank you guys all for showing up, for subscribing to my channel, and for giving it likes and comments. That's all very helpful for me, and helps me to boost my ratings on YouTube, and is also just fun to interact with you guys in morning chat and also in the comments below. So I always check the comments and I try to respond and stuff. So I'm very grateful that you guys are watching. That's all. I'm grateful. Let's get on into the video. All right, guys. So I have a couple of things here. These are Jessie James bead items, but I am reaching for my scrap cup chain and my scrap chain, like my silver scrap chain, silver scrap. There you go. I am reaching for that for these earrings. Now, these guys are the cones that I'm going to be using for this project to make the earrings. I'm going to use 2 of those, and they're pretty big. These are from Jessie James. They are available on the website. They're pretty hefty, okay? They're supposed to be that way. That's why I got them. Because I'm going to do chain dangles, okay? Hopefully with cup chain. I haven't made this before, so we'll see what happens. I also have gunmetal findings. These are also available on Jessie James, and I have been getting used to using these shepherd hook ones, and I kind of like them. I like these ones. They feel pretty like substantial, you know what I mean? Like they're not flimsy, so I like to use them. So I have those. I also have these little sparkle balls that were in, what were these in? Oh, these were in the these were left over in the yellow and gray mix that I did on something. Oh, we made that necklace live. And these were left over from that, so I'm going to use those. And then these 2 little sparkle rondelles I had left over from the bracelet project that I made with the meteor set. These are just sparkle rondelles, I'm sure. You probably have some laying around your house somewhere. So, I have some scrap cup chain, and like I said, I have my scrap silver box. We're going to get into it, okay? First things first, what we're going to need to do is we are going to need to get out some wire. All right, guys, I found it. Found the 24 silver. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to cut myself off a piece of this 24 gauge wire. Absolutely do not need this much. This is too much. Let's cut that in half. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to, first of all, see if I can wire up this cup chain so that we can use it in our cup. So I'm basically going to make a cup chain connector. If you don't have any cup chain connectors, or you can use this wire technique. If you do not feel comfortable with this wire technique, I actually do have some cup chain connectors. I believe, I'm not gonna swear to this, but I believe I have some available on Thunderhorse Descendant for the regular sized. I think it's 2 to 3 millimeter cups. So, FYI on that. But you can always just use your wire. I'm just using the 24 gauge. I'm wrapping around a couple of times here. And then I'm going to bring that up in the back. I'm going to then bring this other side across the front. And since this is going to be up in the cone, I'm like not at all concerned about how it's really looking because it's going to be up inside the cone. So, you know, whatever. I'm just twisting. Once I have it wrapped around that first cup, I'm in the back, I'm twisting. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut that tail off. Get rid of that. And I'm going to take my round nose and I'm just going to wrap this like I normally would to make a little loop. Okay. There's that tail that I didn't cut off. I knew I should have cut it off. Okay. Get my flush cutter in there. All right. So now I'm just going to wrap around like this. And like I said, I'm not at all concerned about this, the way this is really looking, because this is going to be inside our cup. So I just want to make sure it's secure. And give it a trim. All right. So now, let's get a little work hardened. And I haven't cut this yet. You can see it's like a big long piece. I haven't cut it yet because I'm not sure where I want it to lay. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side because I plan to put in two pieces. So I know that when I cut it, I'll have another side, so I'm not concerned. So I'm just taking my wire and I'm putting it into in between cups 1 and 2, in between. And then I just start to wrap this wire. Oop. All right, you. Yeah. So I just start to wrap this wire around that first cup. Now this first cup can be like super tricky because you haven't quite got going on it yet, you know. But once you get it going, no worries. So now I'm just wrapping around. I'm using this kind of little shorter side to wrap a few times, and then I'm going to put him in the back. So I wrapped around. I'm still in between cups 1 and 2. I wrapped around, brought him to the back. Now I'm going to go with this one, the longer side, and I'm going to put him to the back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist these together. Okay, you don't want to twist them too much because you don't want to make your wire weak, but I'm just twisting them together to basically tie them off. Go ahead, come in here, cut this off. Now, if you were doing this and it was going to be visible, clearly you would do it a lot better than what I'm doing it. But like I said, these are going to be up inside the cups, so I'm not concerned how they look. So now I'm just wire wrapping it as I normally would. And you just want to make sure it's secure. Okay. And give it a trim. So now I have 2 sides of this so that even though right now when they're connected, you know, but I could, once I put them in the earring, I can trim them up however I want. So I'm just got them ready to go. Next portion, I'm going to get this debris out of the way. I'm going to put a little ball chain in. Now, if you watched the 1930s inspired necklace, you know that we used some different ball chains. I'm actually looking over here to see if I got a scrap piece, which I do. We used some different ball chains and some different cup chains for that necklace. And I had cut off some pieces, and so now we're going to use those pieces. Now, one of the chains that we used from Jesse James was this little guy, and he came with some connectors. So we're actually going to have a connector for this size, which is kind of nice. And I don't know if they'll fit on there, but we can look. So let's just start off with that. This was that came from Jesse James, and it was a small silver cup chain, and it was 36 inches long. We used it on the necklace, and I cut off 6 inches. And they came with these little ball connectors, okay? I think I also used these in a video recently too. So, what I'm going to do, what I found out from that first video, is that when you have these little tiny ones, you kind of got to get them in your fingers, and you kind of got to just start them out. You got to like push them down. They're not, I mean, don't push it all the way. They're not very, you know, you can push it with your finger. Then you put the ball inside there. You're just going to push it with your finger. Okay. And then, once you got it going, oh, you guys probably can't even see anything. Once you got it going, then you can come in here with your chain nose. And like I said, this is going to be up inside the cup. So I'm not terribly worried about it. But it you do want to make sure that's on there, you know. So this one is, these feel kind of small actually. I don't know if maybe I have the wrong size cup. I don't think so. There we go. And I'm also going to put one on the other side, same way. Oh, drop that one. There's a little. Okay, get him started. And then lay him in there. And close him up. Now, if you didn't have these little guys, I'm also going to show you how you can, that one, these seem really small for this chain. I don't know. Okay, so no worries. We'll just wrap them up the same way that we wrap up the cup chain, which is how I was going to do these ones anyway. So let me get those ready. And so I'm just going to wrap these ones kind of fast because we're doing it the same exact way as we did the cup chain. So I'm just going to wrap them up fast. And like I said, just get them on there. Not concerned about that whole deal. And then we'll just wire wrap them. Okay. So now I got one cup side on this one and one wire wrap on that one. So now I'm going to use these two others here. Now I'm not going to do both sides on this one. These larger chain, I'm just going to do one side. So let me pop a wire on there. Okay. Bring it to the back. This one to the back. Twist them together. Bam. Yeah, okay. That one left. And then we're going to start looking for the scrap chain. I think the scrap chain is going to be the funnest part, honestly. I did make some cage bead earrings on the last video, And if you had any extra cage beads, like those small ones, you know, the kind of really tiny ones, it would be fun to put some of those on the chains as charms, in my opinion. I think I have some rolling around in somewhere, but I didn't have any, so I am going to use these little globes, and I thought that'd be just as cute. And they're full stars, and that kind of reminds me of like 1930s, you know. I don't think that that is historically accurate. Actually, I know that's not, but it's still fun. When I think of like the 20s and the 30s, there was like so much, you know, glitz and glamour and the flapper dresses and the silver, you know, and the feathers. And so I thought, oh, that'll be great. Okay, there's a little hang up on that guy. All right. Now, sorry, I bumped you. So now we got, these have wires. So there's one for each side there, one for each side there, and one for each side there. Now to the chain. Now, this is one of my chain scrap boxes. And I'm just going to grab out some chain of all different sorts and sizes. I don't think I have any gunmetal in here. But I do. Oh, it looks like I have some black. That'll be cute because that'll match. It's pretty small. Of course, you know, it's up to you what kind of scrap chain you want to use, but I am grabbing out a few different types of chain. Here's a little crystal wrapped. Here's a little pearl. Even if you had some of the chain reaction, that could be cute. I'm just digging in here. Oh, here's some like Rolo chain. Here's some chain reaction. Is that black? Oh yeah, it is. That's black. All right, I got a little Rolo chain. Okay, we're doing the most. We're doing the most. So, I really like chain. I do. It's really a lot of fun. Okay, so now here is the deal. These are the cones that we're going to be using. So we're going to get an eye pin. Do I want to use an eye pin? You know what? I don't know if I want to use an eye pin. Maybe I will. I was debating about using wire, but we will see. Because I don't know how much stuff I'm going to have on this little eye pin. I think I will use some wire. I have some 20 gauge here. 20 is pretty kind of a lot. Where's the 22? Here it is. Okay, I have some 22 gauge artistic wire. I'm just going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to cut off enough for both earrings. So I'm going to use that 22 gauge artistic wire. I'm going to cut that in half. Okay. And I'm going to start stringing on my chain. So I'm going to string it on. I don't know how big I'm going to need the cup to be, so that's why I'm doing this first. Okay. I'm just stringing on all these little parts and pieces that we wired up. I better get my cup chain on there. I love to make these kind of like tassel-y things. It's one of my favorite things to do because it's just super fun. Does this have a ball chain? No. Here's the other one. So we need that one for the other side. We gotta save that. Ball chain. And do I want to put one of these on there? You know, I think I do. I want to put one of the chain reaction, so I'm just going to clip off this portion right here, but I'm not going to use the whole bit because that'll be kind of a lot. I think I'll hang my charm on there, maybe on that one or this one. So I'm going to take off 2 links. Instead of cutting this little link right here, I'm actually going to cut this portion that we're going to do away with very carefully with my beetle on cutter. So that way I don't got to put a jump ring on it. Easy peasy. This is also a really fun way to get rid of all your scrap chain if you have a lot of it. Alright, so that's what she looks like. And I'm just going to go ahead and loop this around like so. Okay. Okay. And since this is going to go up into the cone, all you really need to do is you need to make sure that it's going to fit in there, basically. So now, if you have a lot of stuff on your cone, you might want to make your loop, you know, a little bit longer so it'll fit in there without all this being bunched up at the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make mine about 1/2 inch. And just wrap it around. I'm just going to wrap the whole works because that's going to be in the cone, so I'm always going to see it. Just make sure it's going to fit in there. All right. And then just put the cone. Oh, put the cone up. And there you go. Now, if you got too much business and you don't like the way it's laying, you can always take something off. Sometimes these ones, like this one right here, is being a pain in the butt, so I'm going to take that one off. I know, you're like, Randy, what? Well, that's before we hit the chain reaction on there. Now I feel like this one is being a pain in the butt. So, I'm just going to take him off of there. There we go. No worries. Yeah, I feel a lot better about that. All right. So now I said I had that rondelle. That rondelle spacer. I'm gonna put that on the top. And I have a gunmetal. This came out of the yellow and the gray. It's kind of like a little gunmetal topper. Now I'm gonna stick him on the top. What do you think? Or should we be real glitzy? Let's be real glitzy. I'm gonna grab I happen to have some Swarovski crystals sitting here. Let's do that. Because it's fun. Alrighty. And I like the way those bicones sit right in the top of those little tiny rondelles. And they look super cute. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. And I'm just going to wire wrap it. And I want my wrap here to be fairly tight and down to the bead. Not so much where it's going to crack that crystal, but enough because that is what's going to hold all your stuff up in the cone. So you want to make sure that it's, you know, fairly tight so that this doesn't look loose and like hanging down, you know. Okay, now here's the fun part. Now we get to do the cutting. You guys know how this is my favorite part. Well, before we do the cutting, I should say, let's put this charm on to this chain reaction so we know exactly where it's going to hang. Okay, my sparkle bead. I have some little silver. Well, I have a few gunmetal oval jump rings here. You know I love a good oval jump ring. I use oval jump rings and locking jump rings. It's kind of like my arsenal of jump rings. That's basically it. So I'm going to put that on that little sparkle ball and put him on the chain reaction. Just call that a day. Hey. Oh, so cute. So, now you have to realize that this is going to be a pretty long earring. So this is probably going to be one of my longest pieces, if not the longest. So, I'm just going to go ahead and start snipping away. Now, I'm going to just, to play it safe, I'm going to just cut them all kind of down the middle here. Just to get all of it out of the way. Okay, I'll put that over here. We need that for the other side. So now, kind of just flip you up a little bit. This is where we get to do the fun stuff. Okay, so it's like, well, where do we want all this to hang? So in the large ball chain, I am going to cut right above at the end of this crystal. The black chain I'm going to leave longest because I like that contrast. The cup chain, I'm going to, let's see, I'm just going to trim that one a little bit. The cup chain I'm going to kind of leave long because I like that. This one, well, maybe I'll give him a little trim. Make him kind of even with the sparkle ball there. The black one I want to leave. This one, this one. Yeah, I mean, I think it's looking pretty good. These are supposed to be, you know, oh, you guys can't even see. Okay, I trimmed them up. It's supposed to be kind of tapered. They're not supposed to be the same. This is going to go with our necklace that is kind of messy. So it's like, yeah, there we go. Easy peasy. And now I'm just going to put on this gunmetal. I'm just going to put on this gunmetal earring wear and just call this a day. And that's how you do it. I think for this video, what I'm going to do is try this. Yeah, super cool. If you had some other beads you wanted to add to, or, you know, whatever little extra bits and pieces you got, you want to use, go ahead and put them, you know, maybe use them as a charm, put them on, connect them to the chain, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to make you guys watch me do this again, but I am going to video it, and then I'm going to put it in this, I'm going to put it in fast forward so you can see the process. But just so you know, all of my videos have timestamps. So if you want to go back and start watching this again or rewind, you can just go down to the description. It'll have a timestamp and it'll say, you know, adding the cone or whatever. And then you just push that timestamp. It'll take you right back to that place in the video. So I am going to go ahead and whip up the other side off camera, and I'll show you what they look like together. All right, guys, here we go. We'll try them on. Take off my little tassels for some Big Mama sparkles. I think they turned out super cute. And they're just my speed. I know they might not be for everybody, but I really love a nice big jangly earring. If you haven't noticed. It's really one of my favorite things. These I'm just going to keep, so I'm putting them on. And whenever I get a pair of earrings, I kind of bend the back in a little bit so that it stays on, because I don't have any of the earring nuts over here. I don't think. But anyway, here we are in our spectacularness, which I'm sure you'll see these quite often because I really like them. And if you finish some and you get them on and they're too long or something, or you don't like the way they feel or whatever, you can always trim them. You know, that's always an option. So I really like them. I'm going to be sporting them. So I will get you guys some photos and a little video too at the end. But anyways, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing up. And I hope you'll give this video a like or a comment. Please give it a share. Make sure you're subscribed. Ring the bell. Make sure you're subscribed. If you ring the bell, you will get notified every time I put up a new video. So I'm working on putting up new videos, doing videos on Tuesday and Thursday now. Tuesday and Thursday. New videos. Sometimes they're other things, you know. So, anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.